Hey, you alright team, how's it going? Welcome back to this new video. I just want to thank all my current supporters, subscribers, viewers and anyone who's new to the channel. Thank you very much. If you do want to stay updated with loads of military content, military fitness, any sort of traditional fitness advice and on how to join the army, then click that subscription button. But today we're going to be doing another video on the British Army job series. Before we start then, what I do want to say is that a friend of mine messaged me, someone he works with in the British Army. His 15-year-old daughter has adolescent scoliosis and she needs emergency surgery and rehabilitation. So they're trying to raise £50,000. So my mate's doing a massive event where a team of them are going to be covering walking, cycling, running 988 miles. The Just Given link is in the description below. If you could donate anything, even if it's a penny or a pound, we would really appreciate it. Helps her out. She's only 15 years old. Her name's Georgia. She's really suffering. This only affects around 4% of teenagers between 10 and 16, okay, and there's no known causes of effects. So if you could just donate any small amount to them, we'd really appreciate it. I'm going to be coming up for an event for myself. I will do something to help raise money for them, but anything you can spare will be hugely appreciated. Thank you. Today then, job series, we're going to be talking about the Royal Engineers. There is a lot of trades within the Royal Engineers, so we're going to do a brief overview within the Royal Engineers, and then like all the other trades, I will go into more in depth in the future, and the plan is to get around all the units, okay, so all the main corps within the British Army, and hopefully get around to their phase 2s and actually discuss with the people there what actually happens to give you the most updated and best information. But today I've got all this information from people who are currently or just leaving phase 2 of the Royal Engineers, and a friend of mine who has served 17-18 years within the Royal Engineers. So this is where I've got the information from, so it should be the most up to date. But like anything, you can find a lot of information on the British Army website, and the link is always in the video to all my videos descriptions. So you can get the British Army link there, and that's where you can find some information. Anyone who's struggling with the British Army website, I will be doing a video on this in the next week or two, just to show you how to navigate it so you can find certain answers. Starting off with it then, if you're going to join the Royal Engineers as a regular soldier, you will complete phase 1 training at either Purbright, Winchester or Harrogate if you're going through the junior entry, and then obviously officers will go through Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. Once you've completed your phase 1 training, you will then move on to phase 2. Okay, phase 2 then is at Gibraltar Barracks. It's about a 10-minute drive from Camberley, and it is meant to be a very good barracks from what I've heard and from the people I've spoken to. What they say then is it's got modern accommodation where it's 3-man rooms. You've got an AstroTurf, you've got a swimming pool, there's even a cinema. So this is very unheard of in a lot of phase 2 establishments. So if you go in there, you are meant to be very lucky, and you will be there for 10 weeks. So Royal Engineers phase 2 is 10 weeks long before you move on to phase 3, which I'll cover in a second. During those 10 weeks then, you're going to cover numerous sort of subjects, okay, and these are going to be, so you've got demolitions, you've got your bridge building, so you're going to do your bridging, your watermanship, you've got water supply, force protection, basic field engineering and mine warfare. The first 2 is all the basics, so this is tying knots, learning how to use power tools, concreting obstacles, how to use a vallon, and demonstration on, and then the basics of DEMS, and you actually do a full demonstration on blowing up a sandbag. You also do things like watermanship as well. Throughout your phase 2 as well, you'll get issued an iPad. You then have to research and learn some of the lesson the night before, do a quiz before you go into that, and that's how people will know if you've done your lesson prep. Throughout phase 2, you do get every weekend off. There is a curfew on weekdays, but during the week it is meant to be pretty hard, and they say it's harder than phase 1, but I believe it's worth it for what you're going to learn throughout your career within the Royal Engineers. So PT's harder, you do PT every day, whether that's swimming or some sort of physical training session. You then work in full days Once you've completed all your different stages of phase 2, you will then go on to a 5-day final exercise, and this is where it gets pretty nails from what I've heard. It's a very hard exercise, and then at the end, after you've done the different stages that you get assessed on throughout the final X, you then do sort of like an 8-mile runaway tab with all your kit, carrying extra kit as well, and then at the end you do get your stable belt. Apparently a lot of people do struggle here, but my recommendation is just dig in, remember that mental resilience, train for it. You're going to get your stable belt at the end, and that's what's really cool about the engineers, is they issue you stable belt at the end of phase 2, so you have to earn the right to get it, unlike a lot of units where they just give it to you. So it's really cool about the engineers, and then that's what they wear throughout their career in camp unless they're on exercise. Also, if your trade requires it, in your last 2 weeks of phase 2, you will actually do your Cat B driving license. Okay, so that's car. So you will learn to drive a car, and then you can specialise more when you go further on in your career, depending on what trade you are. Fitness standards to get into the Royal Engineers then. So as you all know, you have to go to the assessment centre and you have to meet certain requirements. I've had a look at a few of the trades, and they all seem very similar. So it's looking around a 50k pull on the mid-thigh pull, around a 3 metre to 2.75 metre med ball throw, an 11-minute 2 kilometre run, or 7.5 on the beep test, depending on what they're doing. So they're the fitness requirements. If you are struggling with fitness, then send us an email. My online coaching 1-to-1 is starting up next week, or within 2 weeks. And then if you don't want to do that, we do have set programs available, 4-week programs available on Tactical Warrior Apparel, which you can access through the Tactical Warrior website. If not, like I said, just send us an email and we can discuss this further, and we can look at getting you signed up. What I'll do now is I'll quickly cover the trades within the Royal Engineers. So if you feel like you want to get a trade, you want to join the Royal Engineers, but you're a bit unsure on what you actually want to join, what you actually want to do, I'll quickly list them off for you, and you can go away and research them and have a think about them. These are specialists. So you've got a constructions materials technician, a design draughtsman, a draughtsman electrical and mechanical, a survey engineer. I'm not going to lie, I don't know what half these trades are, but I can tell you the trades. You can see what they are, and then you can go away and research them and find out if they'd be good for you. Then also under that, you've then got geographic, which is your geotech, so that's all to do with mapping. Sort of technician trades after that then is your fitter, air conditioning and refrigeration, sort of speaks for itself. You've got an electrician, and then you've got a fitter general. So the tradesman sort of work, so these are what you can see, what most of you most probably will know about already. So your bricklayer and concreter, you've got building and structural engineer, finisher, sorry, a carpenter and joiner, a fabricator, a plant operator. Okay, so that's like your JCBs, diggers, and then you've got EOD and search. Okay, moving on to sort of combat specialists then. These are then going into armoured, command, control and communication systems operator, so that's your SIGs, so signals. You've then got a driver, and then you've got engineer logistics specialist. So there are additional courses with more specialist roles, but most people do time in the regiments first. But one job that does come up, which I will speak about, is a Royal Engineer diver. I spoke to people about it in the past. I definitely recommend someone going for it. One, it's meant to be a really arduous course, so it'd be very testing and challenging, so there'd be a great satisfaction of passing at the other end. Also, it's just a pretty cool job really, doing all diving, working underwater and stuff like that. Not many people do it, and one of the best ones is the extra pay. I believe it's even better pay than para pay. Like the pay you get depending on what class you are as a diver is meant to really boost your pay up as well, so it's a big reason to become a diver. So that's sort of like a specialist that you can do. I'll just give you some of the areas where the Royal Engineers are based, just in case location is something for you. So these are all the regular regiments. So if you're looking at joining Strike, they're in Ripon. If you want to go armoured, they're in Tidworth. That's where all the armoured units are now. So if you want to go airborne and you want to join 16 Air Assault Brigades, they're actually based in Woodbridge. They're not in Colchester with the rest of the regiments. If you want to go commando, I believe it's 5-9 Commando, they're in Chivenor. Armoured again, in Tidworth, so that's 2-6 and 2-2 are based in Tidworth. You've then got CCBRN, they're Bury St Edmunds in Woodbridge. You've then got 3-2, which is another one, which is apparently Strike, they're in Catterick. So you've got EOD and Search in Wimbush, another EOD and Search in Wimbush, and then you've got Geotech in Huntingdon, That's where they're all based. If you go geotech, that's where they're all based. So there's a lot of locations out there. Obviously, depending on what you want to do and what trade you go, will depend on sort of what regiment you go to. But if you want to pick your trade with on the regiment, then they're the locations that you're going to go to. So you can pretty much get across the whole of the UK. I've worked with the airborne lads before, really good bunch of lads, really keen, really fit. I've not worked with the commando lads from the engineers, and I've worked with a few other engineer units, and they're a really good bunch. So they're all the trades. That's how it's going to work. Like I said, I'm going to break this down even more into even more trades. This is going to be a very long series to break down every trade within the British Army. Once again, the plan is to visit all the phase 2s and all the units within the British Army if I can get it sorted. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please watch out for some more job series, and give us a thumbs up, click the subscription button and comment below what you want to see next. Thank you.